探索に挑戦。冒険者の生活はどうやら性に合っているようだ。
きれなかったわ。連気発射、遠くをたたえよ。低温調理。
Oh, hey, what's up, Azzy? So, for some reason, chat on both the laptop and desktop weren't working. I was wondering why. Like, I noticed there were like a couple of people already in chat. There were a couple of people watching already, and there's nobody saying anything. So I figured I'd refresh chat. And there it was. Apparently both weren't working.
見届けるといい。はっふっ落日すべての始まりに過ぎない。
Rolling for Lauma, because Flins is basically needs enough for work. Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Even though it's so late where you are, appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard that Flins is pretty reliant on Ineffa to be actually good. But I also heard that if you don't have the Nefa, as long as you have C1, he's okay. But man, that sucks. That's awful. That is just really, I guess, it's a really bad character. Because when you use Flins, for him to actually be good, he's basically half of a good character. Right, and you need one more character to actually get a good character. Well, that was not what I wanted to do.
前に光り輝くがいい。ここ具現せよ。目も舌も満足させてあげる。無に帰せずこの手にやっぱり君は一緒じゃないか。いい方がいいでしょ。低温調理念の表像。律令に従えてこの手に一発で十分よ。食前にはよっ光り輝くがいい。
断罪の一幕。
舞台効果も大切よ。嵐にちょっとまた手が遅れた。この舞台に心震わせな。怖いか。それとも恐怖を抱く勇気すらないか。私と打ち合う。少しはまともになってきた。闇来たる破滅の時なる。カウントダウン開始。いいだろう。私に挑む資格を認めてやる。届けるといい。
リスクは上がっている。
落日は全ての始まりに過ぎる。
。
全力攻撃だ。
絶妙よ。契約を果たせ。プチ封じは
石煙に葬られよ。アクセル全
くらえ。みんながそばにいてくれ。
リスパパホヨ。
この天下で裁く。止める勇気。
燃えろ。
星とし無事きょ星としこの同点同点につ
きれなかった。
シュワリーキーツパパ、そうよ。
太陽の炎を。怖いか？それとも恐怖を抱く勇気すらないか？私と打ち合う気か？この燃え上がる炎で。
私は帰ってきた。
闇来たる破滅の時のカウントダウン開始だ。届けるといい。落日全ての始まりに過ぎない。
賑やかに行きましょう。どう、よっ。どう。はっ。面白くなった。光り輝くがいい。じゃじゃーん。ガンのように羽ばたけ。神のご加護を。 こで賑やかにいきましょう。神のご加護を。世界の熱狂の渦に。
これよりエンジェルは断罪の
あふれよ。この手に無体効果も大切よ。ちょっとまたセリフ忘れたの。
どうするよ。
じゃじゃーん。ほってよっちゃ。水圧剣セピ歌え僕の名のもとに。最高の歌詞だよ。小さすぎるわ。
アンコールだマイレディー。
再びスポットライトを浴びますよ。データを見せてお披露目だ。やめてくれ。面白くなってきた。風神様の
クイーンよダンスを行こう。
力を。星とし無事きょ星と深淵。この童貞童貞につい
怖いか、それとも恐怖を抱く勇気すらないか。私と打ち合う気か。この燃え上がる炎で少しはまともになってきた。闇来たる破滅の時のカウントダウン開始。煉獄の塔へに雷。いいだろう、私に挑む資格を認めてやる。 前に届けるといい。落日すべての始まりに過ぎぬ。ここまでか。
炎を灯した者がそれを御せなかったか。
さあ働きなさい。シュトラリー、いつかかホヨ。響け悪止め。思い知りなさい。
石煙に葬られよ。空に本気を出そう。
炎を灯しまたも夢に支配された。
燃えろ。みんなは俺が守っ。
口封じは任せたからね。
太陽の本能を。通常をくらえ。全力攻撃だ。
絶妙よ、契約を果たせ。
忠誠を誓う相手をたがえるな。
燃えろ。
悪用の力を思い知りなさい。
みんなは俺が守れ。石煙に葬られよ。
怪人の雨、世界を
ステップは覚えているわよね。僕を称えよう。歌え。もっと口元に食前に甘いものを。セピロス。さあこの手に。冷凍の時間よ。光り輝くがいい。お披露目だ。目の肌を満足させてあげる。舞台効果も大切よ。ちょっと任せると忘れたの。この舞台に心を。
Hey, what's up, Wrong? How's it going, man? Animations? Now, why would I want to know? Why would I want to know that when these ones aren't even out yet? She seems to be. You know what I heard about her? Kind of weird. Like, what I heard about her makes you not want to pull for a certain character anymore, unless if you really just like that character. You know, I'm really starting to get tired of these characters that need someone else, you know? Like, Flins needs Ineffa, Nefer needs Lauma, Hyperbloom needs Nahida. It's so, I don't know. Like, for example, what I heard about Flins is that he is, I don't know, just not good without Ineffa or C1. Right? Isn't that kind of annoying? It just gets annoying after a while. It gets annoying after a while because, like, when you pull for a character, it doesn't actually feel like you're pulling or you're getting a character. Even after winning 50-50 or getting your 5-star finally, or losing 50-50 and then getting your guaranteed 5-star. It doesn't feel like you got a 5-star. It feels like you got half of a 5-star. I heard that Lauma weapon isn't that good. Like, I mean, it's good, but it's not that much better than her free-to-play options. I don't know, maybe I'm remembering that wrong. I feel like I'm gonna have to do the same thing, yeah. Skipping all the way to Columbina, Alice, and Nicole. Alice, definitely. Nicole, I don't know. Depends on what she does. Columbina seems to be getting the Archon treatment in Nodcry, so she is gonna be very likely good. Alice stole my heart. Alice isn't mommy. She feels like mom. Yeah, I don't want to call Alice his mommy. I want to call Alice his mom. Like, she's like getting her, like, sooner or later we're gonna get her, and I'm not gonna feel like I got a waifu. I'm gonna feel like I got myself a mom on my account. Somebody to come home to. At the end of the day, at the end of a school day, so she's somebody that you come home to. Her voice alone convinced me to switch to English VA. I actually don't mind. Like, Alice is probably the only character in the game that I feel like there's almost no difference between her English and Japanese voiceovers. Like, they have the same personality. The only difference is I have no idea what she's saying in Japanese. It just feels like she has that same, like playfulness and, like, mysteriousness behind it. Yeah, it like, a lot of the characters have they feel like slightly different people. They feel like slightly different people between the different voiceovers. But Alice is like the one character that feels like the same person to me, both in English and Japanese. It actually just feels like one person that can speak English and Japanese. How much time for the update? Hey, what's up, Rithik? Time for the update. So it is a version update, which means you're gonna have to update your game. So how much time? That would be, let me count. So 12 exactly. No, not 12. 11 and a half hours from now, the servers are gonna go down for maintenance. Yeah, no, 11 and a half. Yeah, 11 and a half hours from now, the servers are gonna go down for maintenance. And in a few hours from when the servers go down, about 4 hours, yeah, somewhere between 4 and 5 hours. Is it 5 hours? Hang on. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good riddance, Natlan. Oh my god. Oh, that's rough. You can almost see Alice smiling as she talks. Yeah, that's exactly it. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, most of the time we hear nothing but her voice. Right? Actually, you know what? Most of the time, until this point, until now, we've only heard nothing but her voice. And, like, I've always been able to, like, picture her out. Just because of this, like, she seems like a very, like, whimsical, like, mysterious, whimsical, like, playful, kind of, like, witch-ish kind of figure. And this is, like, yeah. So, however she came out to be, my, like, imagination of what she looked like was actually pretty close. Like, just an elf, but, like, adult version of Klee. Like, somebody who's always smiling, but always knows so much more about what's going on, and is only, like, giving you the tip of the iceberg. Stygian Onslaught, boss, high res, everything. Well, that's the point that I'm. That's the point when I'm gonna just forget about the feather. Anyway, it's easy. It's not gonna be hard to get all the primos. There will be times when you can just ignore the feather in Onslaught. How much time is remaining? 11 and a half hours from now. Junaid? 11 and a half hours from now. 11 and a half or 12 and a half hours from now. The servers are gonna go down for maintenance, and then another 4 to 5 hours from then. Oh, yeah, okay. When the servers go down, update your game. Right? By the way, everyone, please pre-download, pre-install your update, and that way you won't have to download it tomorrow when everyone else is downloading it. I like your voice. Hey, appreciate it, Rithik. Thanks, man. Difference is no FTP Lunar reaction. FTP Lunar reaction character exists. FTP Lunar. Oh, okay. Void shields. Unlike void shields, where normal elements still work, here it doesn't. If the boss. Oh, worst case, I'll just do co-op and get carried for my free modes. I mean, okay, wrong. I'm sure you've done the difficulty 3 already. Difficulty 3 is basically overworld level. You're not gonna have a problem with it at all. Regardless of yeah, I highly doubt that Hoyo is gonna release a boss that you cannot defeat, even if the boss was level 1 and you have full level 100 characters. I highly doubt the Hoyo is gonna release a boss or an enemy in the game that you cannot defeat at all, even if it was level 1 and you were at max level. I mean, if they do, I wouldn't. You know what? I want to change my wording. Did I say I highly doubt? Yeah, okay, I did say I highly doubt. I highly doubt. Right? I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but I definitely very much so highly doubt that they will ever release an enemy in the game that you cannot defeat even at level 1. Even if that said enemy is level 1 and you're at max level, with endgame builds, just because you don't have the right characters for it. If that ever happens, man, I don't know. We might have another Zhongli situation. Yeah, we might have another first anniversary situation. We might have another Zhongli situation. Although, I get the feeling that the community's gotten tired of reacting overly strongly about terrible things like this, about terrible things like that. What are you pulling for? I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna try to get Lauma. She seems to be where it's at. She seems to be the a refresh to Bloom stuff. She seems to be the new. Yeah, she seems to be the refresh of Bloom stuff. Because Hyper Bloom and Bloom in general have been sort of left behind in terms of DPS to end game enemy HP ratio. It seems to have been slowly getting left behind. It still is definitely end game capable, but at this point it's just barely end game capable, and not even in every situation. Only in certain situations. Me too, Lauma, because I have Nilo. Oh my god, you're gonna be very happy then. The biggest selling point for me. Lauma doesn't need anyone. Yeah, she feels like, dude, she feels like just Nahida, essentially. Just Nahida, but Nahida, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, I guess Nahida does have her problems, despite how good she is. Nahida has her problems, right? The fact that her quote-unquote off-field Dendro doesn't refresh when the next wave of enemies, get the spawns, right? That was a big deal. That's a really big deal, because Nahida just doesn't work for Cyno. Cyno really needs the help when it comes to dishing out damage, and Nahida should have been able to help out with that, but Nahida can't really help Cyno in multi-wave content. Single target high HP boss fights, sure. But Cyno is hardly a character that you'd ever consider for high HP single target boss fight. Should I go for Lauma or Nahida? I think you should go for Lauma. Honestly, I think every account would be happy to have Nahida. But right now, I think you should go for Lauma first. If you... I would still recommend getting Nahida. Like, every account get Nahida. But you are not going to... If your account has Lauma, you aren't going to feel much of a difference. Yeah, you aren't going to feel a difference if you don't have Nahida. But if your account does have Nahida, you are going to feel a difference if your account doesn't have Lauma. So, it's hard to explain. Lauma is better than Nahida in everything? Am I... I'm trying to think here. Is Nahida better at Lauma than anything? How about personal damage? Well, personal damage probably. But then Lauma also makes it so that your whole team does more damage. So that evens it out. Lauma's better than Nahida and Burn Vape. It's mostly because of the way they apply Dendro. Yeah, because Lauma's off-field is just constant, like, ticking. Whereas Nahida's is like you have to mark enemies. Yeah, anyway, what I recommend, Rithvik, is if you can go for both of them, I would recommend getting both of them, but go for Lauma first. Prioritize getting Lauma over Nahida. When you get Lauma and you think you can still get Nahida, try to go for Nahida. If you don't get Nahida before her banner goes away, you'll be okay. As long as you have Lauma. Especially because like you said, you have Nilou. Nahida is more for aggregate spread. Lauma is Bloom and Hyper Bloom, I think. Which resistances does Lauma shred again? Dendro and Hydro, right? I guess. So what does Lauma do for Quicken teams? Yeah, for aggravate teams. So I know Nahida. Yeah, so Nahida. I don't remember anymore, but from what I remember, Nahida does something like Nahida's burst does something for aggravate, for burning. Depending on like what elements are on the team. And I'm trying to think. Lauma doesn't really do much for aggravate, right? Other than just have like more consistent Dendro app for your Electro DPS. That is Dendro app is too strong for her own good in those teams. Oh yeah. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Okay. Now that I think about it, yeah. Now that Wrong mentions the Dendro app as well, that's true. Even in aggravate, I think Lauma is better. So not like absolutely better in every single situation for aggravate, but like if you run an aggravate team and you're not. Yeah, if you run an aggravate team and you are like you have Zelonin or like an Animo character for Res Shred, you're just not gonna be able to shred your Electro resistance anymore after your first rotation because of how strong Nahida's application is. Okay, what's up, Spartan? I take that beer. Oh my god, dear. And oh, yikes, Spartan, man. You're coming in pretty hot. Coming in pretty hot, man. Cool down a little. Cool down. Chill out a little. Chill out. Hey, I'm not saying I don't agree. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying, oh dear. Oh dear. Dear is DEER. Hey, speaking of puns, why haven't I heard more puns about Aino's name? I feel like there's a severe lack of puns and people making fun of Aino's name. Is she just that bad that nobody even wants to make fun of her? Is she just that bad? You just aren't on the internet enough. I mean, that's true. That's true. That's problem with Quicken spread teams is that they don't exist anymore. That's yeah. We just don't have good enough DPSs in both elements. And plus the fact that like if you want Quicken, right? If you want Quicken teams, like spread teams and aggravate teams, all you have to do really is add Hydro, right? Just replace someone in it with Hydro, with off-field Hydro. It could be anyone. It could be Yelan, could be Xingqiu, could be whoever, Candice for all I care, like C6 Candice, right? Or even Aino. Just replace one of your characters in your current strongest aggravate and spread teams with off-field Hydro. And that the team is instantly stronger because it's now become Hyper Bloom. So, like, why not have Hyper Bloom when you can have Hyper Bloom, you know? I know, right? Ain't nobody likes her. Ain't no... Her kit just is just moon science and gleam. Don't tell Lauma or I'll have to hoof... Oh. Oh. Oh dear. What is it with these puns, man? Oh dear. I have to say though, the different... Why this color? the font, I'm talking about the font. Why is Lunar charged this color scheme? Honestly, the font color looks like the font color, like the fading font color, looks like something that I would have put into my PowerPoint presentation back in high school. Y'all think I should save or pull for Lauma? In most cases, Shizer, I would definitely recommend you get Lauma. She seems to be a refresh of Dendro, right? And remember, she's just the first. There might be another one coming down the line, a refresh of Dendro and Bloom teams in general, but like Dendro really, including Dendro overall. I think she's a game changer. I think she's like Nahida version 1.3. I wouldn't say she's like twice as strong as Nahida, but like quality of life wise, I think she is quite a lot better. Mathematically, I would say she's probably somewhere around 1.5 times Nahida. Yeah, somewhere between 1.3 to 1.5 times in terms of like if you just replace Nahida in every Nahida team with Lauma. Nefer. Refresh? How about just remove it all? What server? I'm on the NA server, Chief. You missed them dearly. Spartan, do you have any IRL friends that still play Genshin? Uh-oh. Didn't hit nothing. This is the second half. Okay. That's annoying. Nah, I tend to hide my inner weeb. Oh, really? Well, I guess I did do the same thing when I was much younger too. Like, I didn't necessarily hide it, but I only let it out when I was with certain friends, and other friends who didn't get it, like were like different kinds of people. I would hide it. I pull Lauma, she's just a Nivellet buff for me. Lauma and Ineffa. Lauma, Ineffa, Nivellet for you now reaches skirt Varesa. Speaking of Varesa, isn't it sad that Flins is only Varesa level with Ineffa or C1? Right? Like, it's kind of disappointing that, like, like when you tell either like a casual player or a new player how strong is Flins, and like you don't want to have to explain like every single situation and mention like every single team archetype and say this is how strong this team is, this is how strong this team is, this team, and you need this character, like, right? Like, you don't have to explain their entire kit, all the different team archetypes you could put them in, etc., right? And you just want to like average it all out, and like most of the time you'll be like, oh, Flins is as strong as Varesa, right? So it's like kind of misleading. But that's only the case if you have Ineffa or C1. Also, apparently Flins is super popular. I believe it's in Japan. Flins has the upper hand because his name is in a different font. All right. His damage is in a different font. Naruto is socially acceptable, but Genshin is a bit too far. You know, the Genshin does seem to have that effect. Genshin does seem to have that effect, man. Like, whenever hardly anyone asks me like what games I play, right? But whenever I have to say what game I play, I always have this like, and I don't know why, but I'm most of the time I hesitate for like a couple of seconds before I tell them, before I say Genshin. I don't know why I have like I have that slight hesitation. Oh, that was nice. I got 5 of 5? Yeah, I got 5 melts before my pyro overtook the cryo. He's edgy, of course he's popular. What is this about edgy characters that people I don't know. I don't understand what is attractive about it. Zhao, Kinich, and now Flins. I play Genshin. Oh, so you like interactive adult entertainment? Question. Don't you think Hoyo should fix their power creeping issue? Like lowering newer character power level or something like that? Shizer, I have very different answers for that, depending on whose perspective you're coming from. From our perspective, the players, especially the players who are the Genshin players who are more into the combat. Yes, we would absolutely think Hoyo should stop and even like go back, right? Like reverse power creep. We want them to stop power creep and to even reverse power creep. That's from our perspective, right? The players, the Genshin players who are more combat oriented. The casual players who really only like log in like 2 or 3 times a month and mostly just like waits for like news of like when the next update is coming, when the next Archon quest is coming, and then like, oh, new Archon quest, okay, I'm gonna log in, I'm gonna play the quest, and like I'm done. I'm not gonna log in until 2 months from now, right? Like for those kinds of players, they don't care. They don't truly don't care. Now, practically, I think that would be Hoyo shooting themselves in the foot. So there is a way. Obviously, there's a way for Hoyo to sell the new characters, every new character that they release. Hey, what's up, Anime Wed? How's it going, man? There's a way for Hoyo to sell every new character that comes out, even if they make them weaker than the last new character. And now, I don't have the data, right? Obviously, I don't work at Hoyo. I don't have access to their books, their player data. But if the split between the casual players who don't care about combat at all and the players who mildly care about combat, let's just split them between players who non-combat players versus combat players, right? The split between non-combat players and combat players, if the split now is somewhere close to 50-50, even if it's like 65-35, you know, like 65 non-combat players and 35 combat players, right? Even if the non-combat players are the silent majority of the Genshin players, and the combat players are like the loud minority of Genshin players, that is still a significant chunk of Genshin's potential earnings, right? So they would essentially be saying goodbye to any earnings that they potentially have from the combat players by reverse power creeping. Yeah, so like practicality, I think it would just be Hoyo losing a ton of money. Well, they're not going to be losing money. Yeah, they're not going to be losing money, right? They're going to lose potential income. There you go. Right? They're going to be losing potential income. Obviously, I don't know what their expenses at this point are. So I don't know if my statement about them not losing money is correct, right? Because I have no idea how much money they're spending on all their expenses, right? Doing all these like collaborations with other businesses, hosting concerts, live events and stuff. I have no idea how much money they're spending on, like, yeah, basically marketing, on marketing, on like all the other stuff, right? On future development of the game. So I can't say for certain if them losing the income, the potential income that they could get from the combat oriented players, because they release new characters that are weaker than the last new character. You know what I mean? So I wish that they would reverse power creep. Even by a little, right? Even just by a little, right? Like just reverse it to like Sumeru levels. I think that was perfect. I think Sumeru levels were perfect. Hey, heck, if they could somehow reverse it all the way back to like Mondstadt levels, I would be happy with it. Right? It would feel a little bit. I think it would get a little too boring. Especially now that we have characters like Mawika, Nivelet, and Arlecchino. They'd just be blasting past endgame if Hoyo reversed power creep all the way back to Mondstadt levels, to like 1.0 levels. Yeah, so I think like if they reverse power creep back to like Sumeru levels, to 3.0 levels, I think it would be okay. Mawika would just be an outlier. Mawika, Varesa, Arlecchino, Nivelet, they would just be outliers. Yeah. Put enough effort into gameplay and design, it wouldn't have to power creep. Enough into gameplay and design, you wouldn't have to power creep. I mean, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like by the split between non-combat players and combat players, is the most of the time the combat-oriented players just don't care about gameplay and design, right? They'll probably look at a new character. They'll think that they'll think, oh, I like how this character looks. I like their animations. That looks so cool. That looks so badass. Whatever, right? But when they actually pull for them, you won't notice that when you're playing. You really won't notice the animations when they're playing. I guess what you will notice is like how seamless the rotations will be, because of like how they designed said character to, I guess, work with other characters in different team archetypes. Yeah. Again, depending on like if I was Hoyo, because again I don't know their expenses. If I was Hoyo and like I was a player, right? I was a combat oriented player. I would look at my finances and I would think to myself, if we reverse power creep for the next few patches, right? Like they don't even have to like do it like one patch after another. They could like very gradually reverse power creep, right? Like this patch, release a character that was weaker than the last one, and then like in 3 patches from now, release a character that was slightly weaker from that one, right? Like just very gradual like reverse power creep. I would look at my books and think, if this character that I'm releasing with the intention of reverse power creeping, you know, like a very gradual reverse power creep, if I lose I don't know, like X% of potential income because I'm releasing this character, because the combat oriented players won't care about this character because it's not stronger than the last one because it's reverse power creep, I'm only going to be potentially earning from the non-combat oriented players. Will I still make more money than how much I'm spending right now? Right, and that's a hard bet, because remember, it's like it's sales. You can't really like predict an exact number. As long as like if I was like Dawe, if I was Dawe, both Dawe and me and myself, like as a player, I would like look at my books and think, how confident am I that we wouldn't be net negative financially this quarter if I did this? If I'm confident that we would still be net positive, then I would say, yeah, sure, start reverse power creeping, but do it very slowly, as subtly and as slowly and as in the most subtle way possible, that if possible no one will notice. Yeah, but if I'm not confident that that we will still be financially net positive this quarter, then that's the point when there's probably no way to reverse power creep. Flins is technically reverse power creep. He's weaker than Skirk and Varesa. That's, you know, that's actually a good point. That, you know what? Hey, wrong. Okay. The thing you mentioned about let's see. What did you say? The gameplay thing. Hang on. Where was it? Gameplay and design, something like that. Where was it? I can't find it. Oh, here. Okay. So put in enough effort into gameplay and design, and you won't have to power creep. Okay, right? So despite mathematically, a lot of us combat-oriented players know that Flins is going to be, his damage ceiling is probably like on par with like high investment, like maybe C1 or like C1 with signature of Varesa. Right. Well, you know what? Never mind. Like, I'm gonna compare her to basically the same as Varesa. Right, but that's like high investment Flins equals high investment Varesa, but Flins' damage floor is much lower. So in that regard, yeah, Guy is right. Guy, by the way, Guy, I'm reading Eduardo. I'm reading your name as Guy. Yeah, Guy is right. And Flins is a form of reverse power creep. But despite that fact, he is still super popular, and that's because Hoyo put in enough effort into, well, I don't know about gameplay, but design. Into design. And so, but design also comes with like characterization, because remember, these are characters in a story, right? These aren't just like characters that we play with. These are also characters within a story. So there's also characterization, writing, storytelling, stuff like that, right? And obviously marketing as well. So if you do a good enough job of writing, characterization, storytelling, of course, design, right? Character design, and yeah, marketing, right? If you do a good enough job at all of that every single time, then sure, you won't need to power creep. Heck, you can even reverse power creep if that's the case. But you're not going to be able to do all of that perfectly every single time. It's just hard. They recently buffed a bunch of 1.0 characters. Why can't Genshin do that? Yeah, I heard about that. Some old characters got their numbers buffed in Star Rail. Just take your fave character and jump around. That's, at this point, that's all we can do, man. At this point, that's all we can do. He isn't a second of all. He is. He isn't, and he is. The fact that bosses need Lunar action to work soon makes him better. So I mean, that statement. Yeah. So he is and isn't. I mean, like power creep. Isn't power creep mostly like numbers wise? Like he doesn't do more numbers. A higher number than an old character, so he actually just isn't power creep. But at least that's what I think. That's what I think about power creep. That this is my internal definition of power creep. Right? Is like power creep just means this new thing has a higher number than the last one. Yeah, at least that's my like internal like definition of power creep. But like Genshin is a little more complicated than that because it's not just like do numbers. There are like a lot of different mechanics that allow you to do damage or don't allow you to do damage. There's also like the different elemental reactions, right? It's all like super simple on the surface, but like once you get into the details, it actually gets really complicated. Like for example, the abyssal enemies, right? The abyssal enemies that have like abyssal shields, generally had lower HPs than their normal counterparts, their non-abyssal counterparts. But they just seemed a lot tankier. They seemed like even a normal like abyssal meter feels like a boss because it just takes so many hits because of the shield. And the shield isn't really HP, it's a mechanic. Chilling. Well, when we include money into the equation, then it's a power creep of how much money how much money you need to spend in order to get the same amount of power. Well, no, sorry, not to get the same amount of power. Get the same amount of perceived power. Right? Because like I said, in most cases, the abyssal versions of enemies, like the abyssal meter versus the regular meter, I think has less HP than the actual meter. I might be wrong about that. I actually have never looked that up, but like it feels like once I break the abyssal meter's like shield, it feels like they just die in like a few hits compared to like a regular meter. So and so that's why I use the word perceived power, right? Because you can't feel how powerful you are because they're not allowing you to do damage without dealing with this mechanic yet. This vertical investment is better than Varesa. C1's broken. Oh, vertical investment. Okay, including Constellation. I think it's best game for DPS. Just an example. Even if she has the biggest number, is not translating it. Not translating it to action means nothing. I'm pulling Lauma. I'm on 53 pity. 50-50. I hope I get her in one 10 pull and a double, so I can save a ton of primos for Nefer. Man, don't we all, kawaii? Wouldn't it be lovely if we could all experience that? I mean, that actually happened to me the very first time recently. Right? In 5 years of playing this game. That's only happened to me recently. That hasn't happened to me once before. I guess it did, but not on my account. That was on someone else's account. It was on Happy's account. Yeah. Also, Hoyo can just do more skins to get back revenue if they want. Yeah, okay, that part is like the most confusing to me. Like, why Hoyo hasn't invested more into skins? It's just, I don't know. That part has always been confusing to me. It just seems like a no-brainer. The only logical explanation I could think of as to why Hoyo still hasn't leaned into skins is skins have to be lore event. Okay, that's one. Yeah, right. Like they have to be, like, well, at least. I don't know about have to be, but it's more like it's just what Hoyo wants, right? Hoyo just doesn't want random skins that aren't lore relevant. Like, they seem to be really invested in the lore, in making things that we get in the game like related to lore, or like, yeah, lore relevant. Yeah, so it's not, yeah, I don't think it's a have to, but it is something that Hoyo seems to prefer. The fact that we haven't gotten swimsuit free is a war crime. Spartan, I think if you really want it, I'm sure the community is more than willing to provide. I'm sure that the internet in general is more than willing to provide swimsuit free, man. Where are the 5-star skins? Yeah, right. Like, Diluc got one, and we never got another one. Another, yeah, like the logical explanation I was thinking of earlier was that I could think of is, I think Hoyo is saving skins as like a backup, right? Because like I said, selling skins for Genesis crystals seems like a no-brainer, right? It's like guaranteed money, but the problem, if Hoyo leaned into that right now, their game is still, well, it's clearly net positive, right? They're still clearly spending a lot of money on like doing special programs, hosting concerts, doing collabs with like with other businesses, right? So they're clearly still making money. But if Hoyo suddenly leaned into skins and suddenly earned a lot more money, I think what would end up happening is, so the value of character skins in general would go down. When's Lauma coming? Tomorrow or today? Depends on what time zone you're at. Job. Hi. I'm in Asia, so for me it's tomorrow. Yeah, for me it's tomorrow. Yeah, guys, don't forget to pre-install the update. The pre-install was available, was released since yesterday. By the way, I low-key love your raids. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks. Wait, you watched my videos, not streams? I haven't uploaded a video in so long. Goth girl Mona. So, cause okay, yeah, I think that's what Hoyo's afraid of. They're afraid of the value of skins in general going down if they suddenly provide more of them available. I don't have anything else to do. Okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you enjoy them, man. I'm glad you enjoy them. I haven't uploaded a video in so long, man. I don't know why. There's just this thing that like when I upload a video, I want it to be like a high value video that will retain its value, if possible, forever. At the very least, for a very long time. And that's why like some of my very first videos were about crystal chunk farming. Because like unless if Hoyo suddenly rearranged all the crystal chunk locations for some reason, then like the value of that video, or at least the information from that video, will still be relevant, like even like in 10 years from now. Obviously, like the new regions will also have the chunks, and of course those won't be included in my old videos. But the fact that the information in those old videos is still correct, right? And I don't have to like unlist them or whatever. Yeah, that's sort of like what I want. And I don't know, I can't think of like, well, I mean, there are plenty of things that I can think of to make videos of. But I don't know, I feel like they're like maybe character guides or like explanations of character kits and like simplified versions of them, right? Like something, like, I was actually really hoping to make like shorts, YouTube shorts that have like really, really quick, oversimplified like summaries of character uses, not kits, but like the purpose of a character, right? Their role. And then like those shorts would lead viewers, people that see those shorts, to like long form video of like a slightly of like a video, still a simplified explanation of character kits, right? That hopefully are like easy enough for new players, or players who aren't very smart like me, that they can understand. But I don't know. I don't. There are so many characters nowadays that I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start, and whenever I start thinking of one, like whenever I decide on like, okay, I'll go with this character first, and then whenever I start to like picture it out in my head, okay, how am I gonna like summarize that information? What's gonna go first, next, and I have no idea where I should start. I need Ryo and a what? I really wish you do like real good in YouTube, because you're kind of like a good creator. Hey, I appreciate it. Job high. I don't know about like good creator. I'm not like the most. I'm doing air quotes, by the way. I'm not the most quote unquote creative creator. I'm not like I don't have like a super like good imagination, but I do like I really like organizing things. And now, unfortunately, because of the lack of experience, how organized some of my older videos were in terms of like organizing the information, they just weren't very good. And like my videos were like all over the place. Some of my older videos were all over the place. Like I uploaded a video covering a web event, like a 3-minute video, and but then like I was also uploading those videos at the time that I was uploading those videos. The trend like how the kind of content, the kind of Genshin content that was like, I guess, popular, that a lot of people were watching at the time, was like any Genshin content. Any Genshin content at the time, like whether it was hey, like there's this web event in Genshin, and this is how you do this is how you do that. Okay, don't forget to subscribe. Right? And like every little thing in the game, people would make one video about it. People would make a video about should you pull for Lauma. People would make another video about the Lauma banners. People would make another video about Lauma's kit. And then people would make another video about Lauma's teams, right? And like everyone just made like so much, like everyone just made a video for every little thing. It's kind of like how Nvidia, the the graphics card company, Nvidia wants its the media to release content about its graphics card. Like it's actually really annoying how Nvidia like the different embargoes that Nvidia has for like the media that wants to cover their stuff. Is like Nvidia says, okay, like on this date you can release your video talking about the card, but you're not allowed to talk about the specs. You're not allowed to talk about. You're not allowed to benchmark it. You're not allowed to play games on it. You're just allowed to talk about the card. Okay, and then on this date you're allowed to talk about the specs, but no benchmarking, no game footage yet. And then on this date you're allowed to benchmark it and like upload game footage of it, and like so that's really annoying. But at the same time, like translating that over to Genshin, that is like super tiring. It's like super fast paced. Like I have to like record a video in the morning. Oh no, sorry, not record a video. Yeah, like record footage in the morning, type out like a script like half an hour after that, and then like voice it over, and then like edit it within like 2 hours, and then by 2 or 3 p.m. upload it, right? And that's like sure, if I was doing this full time, if I was actually earning enough to do this full time, earning enough from this to be able to do this full time, sure, maybe that's possible. But for somebody who's I mean, obviously the channel is monetized, that's why you guys are seeing ads now probably, but basically earning nickels. Like YouTube is not earning enough for me to even like pay for the electricity that my computer is taking up right now. The world demands nurse outfit gene. Oh my god. I'm not gonna say no to that, man. Nurse outfit gene. I demand MC outfit for all different. Yeah, man, that's people have been asking for that for so long. I'm like waiting for Lauma to have Nivelet as the nuke plus Kuki plus Mona. Nuke? Nivelet as the nuke? Oh, sorry, what does that mean? Appear Lauma with EM for some bloom. Twitch may appreciate you more since you can't just stream anyway. You can just stream anyway. Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought about that a little bit. But this was like way before I started streaming on YouTube. I did a bit of research as to like the differences between Twitch and YouTube. And back then, Twitch has this thing where like if you were a partner, I don't remember the wording that they had, but like there were like two at the time. I don't know about now. At the time, this was like 4 years ago, I think 3 years ago. At the time, Twitch had like different levels of like, I guess like Twitch streamers that they paid. There was like I don't remember the names, but like there was like level 1 and then level 2. Level 1 you earned a little bit, level 2 you earned more. But then like at level 2 you would have to, well, it's essentially a job at that point. You were required to like stream a certain number of hours every month. And then like I did some basic, just some estimations, and I thought like I could probably do that if I streamed every single day. But then like and then I was like, but what the heck do I stream? I stream doing daily commissions every day. That's like at maximum like an hour every day. An hour stream. That's not even enough time to have enough people get onto the stream yet. Like, dude. Okay, a lot of you probably have noticed that like Kazuha has been standing still for like an hour now, just me yapping in the background. That's because I actually have nothing to do anymore. I haven't. Okay, how long we've been going? Stream's been going now for an hour 44 minutes. I haven't had anything to do since the stream hit like 42 minutes. So I've been yapping, doing nothing for an hour for more than an hour now. And by the time that I finished all the stuff that I needed to do today, I was actually thinking of like just ending the stream there, and then wrong person came in, and then a whole bunch of people came in, and then here I am. I'm like, okay, I guess we're yapping. But I also remember hearing somewhere that apparently that's not the case anymore for Twitch. Things are a little more different now on Twitch. I don't remember exactly. I haven't really ever like looked it up anymore. Right, like what the current state is. But yeah, I have thought about it a little bit. Easily Flins, even though Lauma is way better. Flins seems to be very popular. That's what I'm hearing. Flins literally topped the charts over everyone else's favorite Nod Cry character. Tells well Hoyo needs to add more men. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure the majority of Genshin players are dudes. That's why that's probably why you hardly ever hear the community as a whole complain like there aren't enough dudes among the playable characters. Because the majority of Genshin players are probably dudes. You think you don't have a niche? I realize that you do in fact actually have one. You yap really well. you yap really well. Okay, I mean that's a niche. You're so back. And my Genshin news is I have built Fischl. The weird thing is I haven't built her without realizing she has a nice weapon to go with her being a sub DPS and she's C2. Dude, how what? You've only just built Fischl? Fischl's been really good for 5 years now, man. You've missed out. The last couple of years, you've missed out on a lot. You open up freedom for conversation of any kind for viewers. You're welcome. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't like to assert control. I don't like that. Yeah, that I guess that's the thing. Like you for example, right? Like you, was that the last stream or like a couple of streams ago, you suddenly timed out someone for being, how do I put this? He was just being. I don't even. Okay, I don't know. I hope you remember the guy I'm talking about. You recently timed out someone. The guy, honestly, for me, like just I'm just guessing. Obviously, I'm pretty sure condescending. Okay, that's the perfect word to describe what he was being. I'm pretty sure the guy was just lying. Right, I'm pretty sure the guy wasn't even like I remember that guy like often talking about like, oh, like I'm pulling for C6 R5 this character, I'm wailing out, oh, why don't you just buy your teacher a gift? Why don't you, like, instead of just writing them a letter? That's pathetic. You can't buy them a gift, right? Right, and I'm pretty sure, right, just it's hard to explain. It's like a psychological thing, but just I can sense like the pattern in the frequency he talks about stuff like that, about stuff that has anything to do with like spending, with having a lot of money and stuff like that. There was just this like, I could just perceive inconsistency in the way that he talked about it. So I was pretty sure he was just pretending just to make himself feel good. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to mention that. If I'm right about that, I don't have to mention that. I have no reason to tell everyone, oh, this is like, I'm pretty sure this guy's lying, right? I have no reason to do that. Okay, let him be. Let him be. I don't feel like he is. I mean, he might be annoying certain people. I mean, I'm kind of annoyed. I was kind of annoyed listening to him talk about stuff like that randomly every now and then. He has that 1980s type of book, right? But I didn't feel like he was disrupting anything. Like, yeah, I didn't feel like he was disrupting anything. So that's why, like, okay, sure, just leave you be. The majority are men, but the most vocal are either gay or women. Really into that idea of a game. Well, even outside of video games, that tends to be the case. The Golden Troop. Golden Troop? Golden Troop. Oh, okay. For some reason, in my mind, like, my mind was picturing out Wanderer's Troop. And then it was like, that's probably wrong. Golden Troop is probably... Yeah, okay, the Fontaine one. Golden Troop artifact, she's running the Stringless Bow, okay. Both artifact weapons are good for her. Sub DPS, maximize her awesomeness. Yep, that is exactly true. Stringless and Wanderer's Troop. Oh, I'm an idiot. Wanderer's Troop. Golden Troop. Yeah. Stringless, though, because Stringless doesn't give you any crit rate or crit damage, and Fischl does not have any crit rate or crit damage ascension stat, it can be a little bit hard to build her crit ratio. But as long as you have good enough crit ratios on your artifacts, on your artifact set for her, then yeah, like, she'll actually be really good. Never ever do that again, I promise. Yeah, see, here's the thing though. Like, you did that, but then, like, I'm still, like, leaving you be. You get what I mean? I'm not, like, I didn't, like, unadmin you all of a sudden, right? Because I know I can just, like, tell you, like, just leave him alone, right? And, like, you immediately get it. So you did disrupt something, but then, like, you're also not knowingly disrupting stuff. You know what I mean? So, reasonable, right? Just be reasonable. This is something that the world is missing right now. Like, it's so hard to find reasonable people nowadays. Well, on the internet. I'm sure in the real world it's actually not that hard to find reasonable people. Unfortunately, I don't know about you guys, but, like, I'm not really somebody who spends a lot of time out in the real world anymore, so yep. Hey, what's up, Luap? How you doing, man? Oh, you changed your profile picture. What the heck is that profile picture, man? Build as much crit rate as possible. I see builds 169% crit rate. What? You notice? I mean, it's pretty easy to notice profile picture changes if, like, it goes from light to dark or dark to light. You know what I mean? Like for example, this channel's YouTube this channel's profile picture is, like, yellow and white background, so it's, like, bright. But if I suddenly inverted the colors, right, same exact picture. If I suddenly inverted the colors of the profile picture of this channel, then, especially because, like, I'm only seeing your profile pictures in chat, right? So they're tiny, so I don't actually see what they are, unless if I click on your name and, like, go to your channel. So for me, it's very clear if there's, like, a huge difference in, like, brightness or darkness. Me gusta. 100% is enough. I think for most characters, not all, of course, but I think for most characters, I think somewhere around 70 or 75 crit rate is a good stopping point. Yeah, like, for example, a character that has easy access to a lot of crit rate and crit damage, like, for example, Neuvillette, for example, who what is Neuvillette's ascension stat? Is it crit rate or crit damage? Crit damage. Okay, so right, like for example, Neuvillette, his ascension stat is crit damage. His best in slot artifact set gives you crit rate, and his signature weapon also has a lot of crit damage in it. And one of his better free to play weapons also has a lot of crit damage in it. The Widsith. Obviously, it's not his best free to play weapon, but it is one of his better ones. Right, so he has a lot of easy access to a lot of crit rate or crit damage. So on a character like that, you can easily get to like the minimum crit rate, minimum like good crit rate and crit damage. Like no, sorry, minimum and good end game crit rate and crit damage. So once you get to that number, okay, do you keep going? Like, which one do you keep going up for? Right? Do you keep going with crit rate and crit damage, or do you just where do you stop? Right? Like, and for me, I for most characters, I feel like a good stopping point for crit rate is somewhere around like 70 or 75%. And I feel like any more than that is like you're sort of wasting what you could be putting into crit damage. There are certain characters that definitely want to be as close to 100% as possible, if not even get to 100%. So characters like Eula, nobody uses Eula anymore. Eula, Navia, who else? Who else has few big hits? Eula and Navia are the only characters I can think of that have very few but big hits. Mawika, Mualani. Oh, Mualani, yeah. Yeah, hey. Okay, I just had a thought. Why doesn't Mualani feel like Eula and Navia? Does she, like, okay, by the way, I'm talking about, like, so Eula and Navia just feel like they never crit. They just feel like they never crit. even if you have like 80 crit rate, it just feels like they never crit. Like I have Eula on my third account, and I have her at like 75 or 78 crit rate, and it feels like I crit once every 5 bursts. Because miss crits still slap and no one plays Mualani. Okay, miss crits still slap. Yeah, they still do hit pretty hard even if they don't miss on even if they don't crit on Mualani. That's true. Also no one plays Mualani. That was another thing I had in mind when I asked my question. I was kind of thinking like maybe because no one plays Mualani, so I haven't seen enough footage of her, and because I don't have Mualani, maybe it's that. Maybe I just don't know that it actually feels like Eula and Navia. She has a crit rate ascension, Obsidian Codex. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. I was actually also about to mention Kinich, and then I thought, well, Kinich doesn't usually have that problem because Obsidian Codex. Yeah, okay, you're right, I forgot. For some reason, I remembered Kinich used Obsidian Codex, but I didn't remember that Mualani used Obsidian Codex. You take that back. I just watched the girl Genshin YouTuber using Mualani as main. I mean, sure, like Mualani is not a terrible character. It's just that not many people use her because she has certain gameplay problems. If you aren't overcapping, crit rate, I diagnose you with skill deficit. I got 25 pulls for Dear Lady. 25 pulls, Spartan. Don't you usually have way more than that? You're so focused on the clunky gameplay. You're just happy it hits. You know, I think that's true. I think that is actually true because you're so focused on the clunky gameplay. Yeah, because her gameplay is really clunky. You're so focused on just being able to play her properly that you can't even recognize when she didn't crit. Who's using Petra? What? Petra? Pyro Traveler? Wait, huh? Obtaining a shard. What? So why him? Why the Pyro character? Why not the Geo character? I'm broke. Well. Oh yeah, hey Spartan, how are you doing these days? Didn't you graduate recently? Well, recently I think is the wrong word, but somewhat recently. Yeah, how are you doing these days? We heard of the Escoffier Mualani. What? No. Why? What is it? Petra Pyro Traveler is in Mualani teams because Zelona uses scroll. Ah, okay. Wow, that is extremely specific. I mean, I can see it being good. Actually, that's pretty good because, like, ideally, you don't want to use your strong Pyro characters with Mualani, right? Like, you just want some random Pyro, off-field Pyro application. So, sure, Pyro MC on that team. Especially because Xiangling alone, like solo Xiangling, is just so energy hungry. So, yeah, okay, I can see it working. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I've never seen it though. I haven't seen a blue crayfish using Mualani. The update hasn't started yet. Yeah, the update, the Luna 1 version Luna 1 update is tomorrow. And because again, guys, in case some of you forgot, it's a version update, so you actually have to update your game. Which, by the way, you can pre-install the update today already. So in that way, you don't have to download everything tomorrow. Tough. Graduated in June. Got 5 job interviews since, but no job. Ah, man. That sucks. Entry level. Every entry level job requires 2+ years experience. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I've noticed that recently. So I haven't looked for a job in quite a long time. But even though I technically do have a living, right? I make a living already, but around a year ago, I tried looking for one. I tried looking for a job, and like every list of requirements, even if it was an entry level job, even if it was like I wouldn't say minimum wage job, but like not a very high earning job in 2025. Dude, they all wanted 2 years plus experience in the field. Like, what? How the heck are you supposed to get experience if they need you to have experience in the first place? They want experienced employees at Rookie Pay. Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'm just out of touch because I haven't been in the employment market in so long. The last time I was there was literally 10 years ago, and it was, yeah, like having experience was just a bonus. It was just a bonus. It wasn't a requirement. It was a bonus. And nowadays, every job you look for, like dude, you probably, even if you applied for like a dishwasher, they'd probably say like, oh, you need to have at least 2 years of experience washing dishes before we let you wash our dishes. Like, what? Oh, hang on. I'm getting a call.
雨降る風の中、ふるさとを思う。拙者と故郷のつながりは、もうこの刀のみでござる。
Okay. I actually picked up the call because I was worried that it was something important. And okay, apparently it was just my bank. But for some reason not using like one of their like official numbers, it was just some random phone number. offering to like let me borrow money. Like what the heck? That is such a foreign concept to me. I have never had that happen to me before because like usually it's like rich people, right? That banks offer bankers camera. I think what it was is like I think the reason why they were just using like some random phone number was it was probably like outsourced. It probably wasn't like directly the bank itself. They probably like outsourced it to some agency, and that's why. And this agency probably just hires people online or something, and that's probably why they're just using like a regular phone number. That is crazy to me, right? Like 10-15 years ago, you would never like, dude, you had to actually apply to borrow money, right? Like you would have to like convince your bank that you can actually pay your monthly bill. You could actually pay your monthly bill before they would even let you money. And now like here they are calling you, hey, borrow money. Haha, we got money. Who wants money? Borrow this. Maybe it's because of inflation. Usually what happens during inflation is central banks increase the interest rates to hopefully discourage people from borrowing, people and businesses from borrowing money. But then higher interest rates also means that the bank makes more money for lending the same amount of money because the interest rates are higher. So usually that's when like lending organizations and banks go get really aggressive. Oops, I hit it too early and now I'm not melting. Get really aggressive when it comes to like lending money. What? Hey! What the? Okay, thank you. There we go. Oh, that did not time very well. He had pyro on him. Oh. He just teleported. You need 10 years experience to scrape cooking pans. Even the basic jobs are being taken by foreign workers now. So I can't even land a job at Burger King. Speaking of foreigners taking jobs, like so in a lot of Western countries, because like the pay is definitely much higher than in like other countries, right? In certain other countries, they just tend to outsource a lot of jobs. Like for example, call centers, right? Like the BPO industry in the Philippines, in India, I think in some other Asian countries too. I actually don't know, but I'm pretty like I do know that the call center industry in the Philippines and India are like super big. Although there is the possibility of machine learning algorithms taking that stuff away from outsourcing. Wanted 18 to 24 years old, must have 30 years experience in related field. Sounds like a scammer to me. Yeah, of course, that's also entirely possible that these people that are constantly calling me to borrow money are just scammers. Yeah, that is entirely true. Although they don't, I haven't ever heard them ask for any of my personal information, like my bank account and stuff. Yeah, so I think that's what's going on because, like I said, high inflation right now most of the time equals high interest rates set by central banks, and of course high interest rates means like the money makes more money. What? The bank makes more money by lending the same amount of money, so that's why like they get really aggressive with like lending money. But it's just crazy to me that nowadays they are asking you to borrow money when back in the day 10, 15, 20 years ago, like you couldn't even borrow money if you didn't have enough money. You had to basically beg to let you beg them to let you borrow money. And nowadays it's almost the opposite. Experience for this job, sorry, but I need the job for experience. Go get experience somewhere else, come back later. We do things differently from other places, sorry. That's pretty much it. I think I just got accepted to the course I interviewed for in July. Hey, nice. I think. Why? I think. Why aren't you sure? Is Llama out now? No, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Oatmeal. But you know, you have to update your game. So yeah, although you can download the update now, you can pre-install the update. Okay, I literally have nothing to do in the game anymore. Like I'm actually really flattered that so many of you guys came out to watch me today. But I haven't had anything to do in the game for like an hour and a half now. I've just been yapping the whole time. Like, job is like, get a life. Like, what? How can you get a life? You're already living and alive. Just got an email and it said, congratulations, you've been offered the course, product, experience, and design. You've been offered? So, what? Congratulations. Congratulations, we are offering this course to you. What? Will you take it? That is so... Okay, that's a very odd choice of words, honestly. But hey, it sounds like good news, so okay, I guess I get why you said you think. I'm gonna subscribe. Hey, I appreciate it, Oatmeal. Thanks, man. Alright. Oh. Hey, what's up, Adi? How's it going, man? Okay. Well, anyway. Somebody scheduled 4:30 for me today. It's 4:01 right now, so that's in 28 minutes from now. But they said they weren't sure yet. They said they would they would clarify it by noon. They haven't messaged me again, so I might have to get off soon to get ready for that. I just accepted the offer. Hey, congrats, Wrong. Congrats, man. It sounds like there's gonna be another interview. Just, I don't know, like, based on the way that they worded it. So if there is one, good luck. But hey, congrats. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for me for today. I really haven't had anything to do for like an hour and a half now. I've just been yapping this whole time. Yeah, by the way, everyone, do not forget, you can pre-install the update now. The Genshin Impact version Luna 1 update comes tomorrow, but it's a version update, so don't forget to update your game. You can pre-install the update today so that you don't have to download it tomorrow. In 12 hours from now, the servers are going to go down for maintenance, in which case you can then install the update that you pre-downloaded today, if you pre-downloaded today. And then in a couple of hours from then, the servers will go back up, and then you'll be in version Luna 1. Alright, well, anyway, that's going to be it for me for today. Make 5 condensed... Yeah! Yes! Make 5 condensed resin. That's... Yeah. Good point. Make 5 condensed resin now. So that you... So your 5 condensed resin today will be worth 200 resin. But tomorrow, it will be worth 300 resin. So you basically get 100 resin for free. I don't know. I hope they don't like just suddenly delete this 5 condensed resin. That would be like, I would be very unhappy about that. But I'm sure they probably won't. Hoyo doesn't usually like to do stupid stuff like that. They do other stupid stuff, but not that kind of stupid stuff. Bug abuse, they will ban you. Hey. Well, okay. Oh my god, I already said it out loud. Darn it. I'm sure they probably won't mind. It's gonna be 100 resin. It's not like 100 resin every day. It's like 100 resin just once. Account banned. Alright, anyway, so for those of you who need help building your characters' accounts or making a decision which banners to pull for, feel free to join our Discord server. Links are in the description of all my videos, VODs, and streams, and in the pinned message in YouTube chat. If you want my personal opinion, you can ping me over there. My name is Elvis Einstein. Of course, you can ask for other people's opinions too. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out, and being awesome people. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and take care, everybody. See you all in version Luna 1. And it's still a weird name. Like, why couldn't we just name it 6.0? But hey, whatever. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.